Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I have been away for a bit, but I am back and I am better. Am I better? Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? And I've been working on these bracelets. I have been working on making earrings. I have just been living and trying out new things. And in those few weeks, I have learned a lot of things. I have evaluated my past, how many weeks? Like 9 weeks here in Uganda, and I am currently contemplating what my next steps are. So sit down with me as as we discuss and think about, what it is that I am up to, what it is that I'm doing, and where it is that I'm going in the next couple of weeks. My journey in Uganda so far has been a beautiful one. It has been a lot of learning, it has been a lot of growth, it has been a lot of development. And for me, that is a key part of why I am here. It's a key part of why I traveled out of my comfort zone. And earlier today, I was just reflecting on my journey to getting here, my journey to actually being in this space and in this place, and how it has impacted me as a person. I stepped out of a role, I stepped out in faith, and I have grown in the past 9 weeks. How have I grown? First and foremost, I have learned that I don't actually know Uganda that much. Regionally, okay, I don't know Uganda regionally, that's number one. But I also don't know Uganda like culturally. Now I know the cultures. I know that when you greet someone, you kneel down. I know that when you are talking to your elders, you lower yourself a little bit. I know that when you are doing certain things, like how to actually maneuver doing those things. But I don't know how to operate in business world Uganda. I don't know how to operate in certain cultural custom things. I might know how to do it, but I don't agree with how it's done. So that has been a real challenge for me. And one of the things that I have had to learn is to be patient. Not only patient with myself, but patient with the people around me. Work environment, people just do things very, very differently. You might sign up to do something, you get someone, they're going to help you, they're going to work on it, you pay them. I learned you don't pay people in full. Like I knew this, I knew you don't pay people in full, but I learned that you don't pay for things in full, you pay for things in installments. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Like there's been a lot of things that I have had to retrain myself, rethink about, understand and develop in to get to the point that I'm at right now. Hey, I have learned that people work at a completely different pace, okay? If I assign someone a task to do today, where we have like all these KPIs, key progress informants, I think that's what it stands for. Like we have all these standards and we have these markers where we can keep tracking how well someone is doing on that particular thing, and we have accountability. A lot of people don't have that here. A lot of people are just like vibes. Like I'm just vibing. I'll get it done when I get it done. And it really annoys me. It really annoys me. It really disturbs my brain that that's how people are. And even asking for updates. Now I'm a question asker. I like to know what I'm doing. I like to understand. I have a why. I'm literally like a toddler. Why? Why do you want me to do that? Why is this way? Why are we making this happen? Why is this? Why? Why? And I've found that people get really annoyed when I ask why. They get really uncomfortable when I ask why. And I'm like, but why? Because it just doesn't make sense to me. If I don't understand something, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've understood it. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to be like, why are we doing it this way? How is this improving what we're doing? And if I haven't understood, I'm actually going to ask for clarity until I understand. And if you fail to explain it to me, it means you're explaining it in either a way that's too complicated or a way that I'm not understanding it. So we're going to start from scratch. You're going to go from the top and explain it to me. And people look at that as lugezi, which I think translates to being wiseacred, like you're being a bit too wise, like stop that. But I grew up in a culture where we ask questions, we critically analyze things. So I don't feel like that's something that I can shut off. But if it annoys people, that's a them problem. I'm still gonna ask my questions. um, what else have I learned? I have learned to be patient. I have learned, and when I say patience, I mean patience on the little things and patience on the big things. I have learned to be patient. I have learned to take things slowly. I have learned to speak to myself and verbally vocalize, Vanessa, be patient. That is in the little things of you are sitting in a restaurant and the service is just terrible, to the big things of you are working with somebody, you are their client, and they fail to update you on stuff. I'm like, just be patient. You are sitting in somebody's office and they're making you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you just have to be patient. Now, those are some of the lessons that I didn't know before I came here. I didn't understand the art of being patient and being slow to get angry and upset and becoming a Karen in the midst of it all. Like, there's no need to become a Karen because these are still the same people that you're going to sit down with, you're going to face, and you're going to need when the time comes. So you just got to take a chill pill, relax, breathe, just breathe it all in. Otherwise, you're just going to be stressed for no reason. I have also learned that the pace here is much slower. Like, there's a generally slower pace in the way that people do things. So it's up to you to chase up on things, to follow up on things, to be like, how is this getting on? How are we making this happen? Is it okay? What do you need from me? Even the simple question of what do you need from me can actually trigger someone to be like, oh, I'm still working on her. I'm still working with her. I need to get her stuff done. I've just been learning. I've actually just been learning. And social Uganda is very different to corporate Uganda. Visiting Uganda for 2 weeks is very different to living in Uganda for 2 months. There are complete differences and challenges whereby you as a person are going to be tested. Like, you're going to be tested because you've come from a different environment where things work completely differently. And now you're in a different environment where, again, things are, there's a complete shift. So I'm just like, if anything, I would say anybody trying to uproot themselves from where they are to come to Uganda, and that's where you're trying to be for a while, change your mentality. Let there be a mentality shift. Let there be a change in your expectations. Well, maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Your expectations to stay the same, but the achievement of those expectations will look completely different. Like, that's something that you just have to accept. You just have to go with the flow. You just have to make sure that you're okay with things looking differently. Otherwise, if you're going to be rigid with a Western mentality, there's no way you can thrive here. There's actually no way. There's no way you can thrive here. And I've had to learn that the hard way. But in it, there has been learning. There has been a sense of growth and development in me as a person. And my mentality has shifted for the better, in that I feel like I can better operate in this space, in this country, than I did when I first got here. When I first got here, I was like, we're going to do A, B, C, and D, and we got to do it snappy, and like, let's get on it, guys. And everyone was like, come again. They didn't. I left them at A while I was on like F. We were on two different pages, and getting people on the same page and getting them onto the same mentality and mindset is a shift. And also adapting to how people do things here. Like, there's certain things that I think are weird. I do. I think they're not normal. I think they're just like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it this way? But I've had to accept that that's how it's done. Some things I've just accepted. Yeah. Some things I'm like, this is not the hill I should die on. But some other things I'm like, no, this can and will change. Like, this is just basic. Let's better it for the benefit of all of us. Like, nah, let's not be accepting things as they are for some of these things. So that has been a quick sit down of my thoughts and where I'm at and what I've been up to. That is rounding up my work experience so far. That has been how I have felt while I've been working with people and for people. And it's just, yeah, a lot of growth. Come to Uganda, please. Come to Uganda so we can all experience this. Like, there's actually so much to experience. That's another thing. But I'll share a bit more about that in my next video. Bye. See ya.